Hello children, hope you are all doing good. Are you all enjoying your holidays? You are all very safe, is it children? You are all very safe. You are under the hands of your parents, is it? So that you will be very safe, is it children? Okay, to make yourself very safe, wash your hands again and again, okay children? Use soaps, hand washes or sanitizers, okay children? Don't go out of your house unnecessarily. Okay, stay in your house and enjoy your holidays and also learn your lessons. Okay children? Okay, we have started the new lesson. Children, what is the name of the lesson? Motion and force, is it? Motion and force. Yeah, have you all learnt it? Already we have completed a lesson. Learn it again and again. Read your book, okay children? Yeah, take your homework notebook. I will keep you a small test. Write only the answers, okay children? Send this along with your homework, okay? Yeah, first question. If the body changes its position with respect to a fixed point, it is called dash. If a body changes its position with respect to a fixed point, it is called dash. Have you all answered, children? The second question. If a body does not change its position with time with respect to a fixed point, it means dash. If a body does not change its position with time with respect to a fixed point, it means dash. And then third question. A body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time is called dash motion. A body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time is called dash motion. And then fourth question. If a body moves in a straight line, what motion it was? If a body moves in a straight line, what motion it was? What type of motion it is? Okay children? If a body moves in a straight line, what type of motion it is? Okay? Write the answer. Fifth question. In rotatory motion, the body moves in dash. In rotatory motion, the body moves in dash. Some axis we have mentioned, is it children? Should write it, okay? In rotatory motion, the body moves in dash. Dash axis, okay? The next question. If a body repeats its motion in regular time intervals, it is said to be dash. Dash motion, okay? If a body repeats its motion in regular time intervals, it is said to be dash. And then the next question, write an example of oscillatory motion. Write an example of oscillatory motion. And then the last question, if a body keeps changing its motion from one type to another, it is called dash. if a body keeps changing its motion from one type to another, it is called dash. Dash motion. Okay, children? Should write the type of motion. If a body keeps changing its motion from one type to another, it is dash motion. Have you all answered, children? Can we recall what we have learnt in the previous class? First of all, we have learnt what is motion. Is it, children? If anything changes its position with respect to a fixed point, that is called motion. Okay, children? If anything changes its position with respect to a fixed point, it is called motion. Okay, children? If anything does not change its position with respect to a fixed point, that is rest. Okay? And then we have learnt about uniform and non-uniform motion. Is it, children? Uniform motion means if a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, means that is uniform motion. Okay? Equal distances in equal intervals of time means that is uniform motion. Okay, children? Non-uniform motion means unequal distances in equal intervals of time means that is non-uniform motion. Okay? Non-uniform motion. Okay, and then we have learnt 8 types of motions. So children, what are the 8 types? Translatory motion, rotatory motion, oscillatory motion, vibratory motion, then periodic motion, non-periodic motion, multiple motion, and random motion. Okay, children? What are the type of motion? Translatory motion, rotatory motion, oscillatory motion, vibratory motion, periodic, non-periodic, multiple, and random motion. Okay, children? In translatory motion, we have learned 2. Is it, children? What are those 2? Rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Is it? Okay, first of all, say what is meant by translatory motion? If it moves in the same direction with the same speed means that is translatory motion. Okay, if a body moves in the same direction, okay, same direction in the same speed means that is translatory motion. Okay, children? And then what is meant by rectilinear motion? If a body moves in a straight line means that is rectilinear motion, and if a body moves in a curved path means that is curvilinear motion. Okay, children? And then what is meant by rotatory motion? If a body moves in a fixed axis means that is rotatory motion. Okay, children? And then what is meant by oscillatory motion? If a body moves back and forth or else to and fro motion is called oscillatory motion. Okay, children? What is the example? Swing is the example. Okay? And then what is meant by vibratory motion? If a body is performing oscillatory motion rapidly means, okay, this vibratory motion is also doing the same to and fro motion, that is back and forth, but it is doing the same motion rapidly. Okay, very fastly if it is happening means that is vibratory motion. Okay, and then periodic motion, if a body repeats its motion in regular time intervals means that is periodic motion. What is the example? Earth revolves around the sun, is it? That is the example of periodic motion. Okay, children? And we can say another example. What is the example, ma? Pendulum. Have you seen the grandfather's clock? The old clock. That is the example of oscillatory motion and also the periodic motion. Okay, because it is moving back and forth or to and fro. Is it, children? It is moving to and fro in regular time intervals. Is it? So that we are calling it as oscillatory motion and also periodic motion. Okay, children? And then non-periodic motion. If a body moves in Irregular time intervals means that is non-periodic motion. Okay, it will not repeat. Okay, it will not repeat in a proper time intervals. Okay, children, so that we are calling it as non-periodic motion. And then multiple motion, if a single body is performing 2 or 3 type of motion, means that is multiple motion. Okay, children. And then random motion, a body is simply changing its motion from one state to another state. One type of motion to another type of motion, means that is random motion. Okay, children, can you all understood? Can you all remember whatever we have learned in the previous classes? Okay, in this class we will see about simple pendulum. Okay, simple pendulum. Okay, already we have said, is it, children, simple pendulum is the example of periodic motion and oscillatory motion, is it? We are learned. Okay, yeah, see your book, page number 19. You can see the picture of simple pendulum, is it, children? Yeah, what are the parts they had mentioned? There is a bob. Okay, there is a bob and it is tied with a string, and then it has a rigid support, is it? It has a bob, string, and it has a rigid support. Okay, I will explain you about the simple pendulum. Okay, first of all, we said, is it has a bob, is it? It has a metallic ball. Okay, it has a metallic ball that we are calling that metallic ball as bob of the pendulum. Okay, children. Okay, and then it is tied to a string. Okay, it is tied to a string and it is suspended freely from a non-moving stand. That non-moving stand, we are calling it as rigid support. Okay, children. And if you just pull the bob to one side, it starts moving to and fro. Okay, it starts moving to and fro. Okay, the to and fro means forward and backward movement. Okay, it is taking the forward and backward movement. Okay, the motion of the pendulum gets repeated. Okay, it will be repeating, and then we can say it as it is undergoing oscillations. Okay, and then while oscillating, we can see the two extreme positions. Okay, what are those extreme positions? What does mean by that extreme positions? The maximum distance. Okay, if it can cover from in one side and another side. Okay, that while taking the to and fro motion, it will move to a maximum distance, is it, children? That is called the extreme position. Okay, and then in between that there is a moderate position, is it, children? That moderate position is called mean position of the pendulum. Okay, and the motion, okay, the motion of the bob, okay, is called the motion of the simple pendulum. Okay, it gets repeated. Okay, it gets repeated again and again certain times. Okay, such motion is called periodic motion or oscillating motion. Children, have you all understood? First of all, in the simple pendulum, we have a metallic ball, is it? What is meant by that metallic ball? We are calling that ball as bob of the pendulum. Okay, and then it is tied with a string, is it, children? It is tied with a string and it is suspended freely. Okay, from a rigid support. Okay, it has a rigid support. From that rigid support only it is suspended. Okay, and then it is taking a motion. What is that? To and fro. Okay, it is moving back, forward and backward. That is called to and fro. Okay, the to and fro is called oscillating. It is oscillating. We can say it as it is oscillating. Okay, while oscillating, it reaches the extreme positions, the two extreme positions. Okay, children, and then at that time, if it takes rest, means that is in between the two extreme positions, there is a moderate position. Okay, if it takes rest, if it is in rest, means that is called mean position. Okay, that resting place is called mean position. Okay, and then the oscillation repeats certain times, so that we are calling it as periodic motion or oscillatory motion. Okay, children? And then next we will see about oscillation. Okay, the bob completes one oscillation. Okay, when it will complete one oscillation, we have set the mean position. So children, from that mean position, if it goes to one of the extreme position and then to the other extreme position, okay, and then again returns to the mean position again, means that is we are calling it as mean position. Okay, sorry, we are calling that as one oscillation. Okay, children, it starts from mean position and again it moves to one extreme position and again and then to the other extreme position and again returns back to mean position, means that is termed as one oscillation. Can you all understand, children? You can see here, is it, children? This is called one oscillation. Okay, and for that it takes time, is it? That is called the time period of the pendulum. Okay, for oscillating for one oscillation, it takes some time, is it, children? That is called one oscillation. Okay, we measure the time period by measuring the time required to complete one oscillation. Okay, from mean position to one extreme position and the next extreme position and back to the mean position. That is called one oscillation. For that it takes some time. That is the time period of the pendulum. Okay, children? Can you all understand? Yeah, what are the parts the simple pendulum have? It has a bob, it has a string, and then it has a rigid support. Is it? And then what is meant by one oscillation? If it moves from mean position to one of the extreme position, again to another extreme position and back to its mean position, means that is the one oscillation. Okay, for one oscillation it will take some time, is it? That is the time period of the pendulum. Okay, children, can you all understood? And then we will see about the terms involved with a simple pendulum. Okay, what are the terms involved in simple pendulum? Length, amplitude, oscillation, frequency, time period, and mean position. Okay, already have taught you about oscillation, is it? One oscillation, is it, children? I have taught you, is it? And we have completed the time period also, is it? And then we'll see about the length. Okay, first of all we'll see about the length. Okay, what is meant by length of the pendulum? Okay, the length from the tip of the bob. Okay, tip of the bob to the support, is it? A rigid support is there, is it? From that rigid support to the center of the bob. Okay, if you are measuring, means that is the length of the bob. Okay, the distance between the point of suspension. Okay, we are calling that as point of suspension of the pendulum and the center of the bob. Okay, that is the length. Okay, can you all understood? From the point of suspension to the center of the bob. Okay, the distance between these two is termed as length. Can you all understand, children? The next term involved in simple pendulum is amplitude. Okay, we already know about the three positions of simple pendulum. Is it, children? What are the three positions? The two extreme position and the mean position. Is it, children? Okay, while oscillating, it reaches the extreme position and it stops there for a very brief period of time. Okay, and then starts swinging back again. Okay, and reaches the other extreme position. Okay, on doing so, it crosses the mean position. Okay, it crosses the mean position. Is it, children? Okay, the mean position of the pendulum is the position where the pendulum takes rest, okay. In the mean position only, the pendulum takes rest, okay. There is a certain term called amplitude, okay. In an oscillating body, the amplitude is very important, okay. Yeah, you can see the image. Is it from the extreme? I have marked an A there, is it, children? That is the amplitude, okay. That is the amplitude of the simple pendulum, okay, children. Okay, what does mean by amplitude? The maximum displacement of the bob on either direction, okay. The maximum displacement of the bob on either direction, okay. Yeah, how will you find the amplitude? Will you find from the extreme positions to other extreme position? Is it right? No, is it, children? We should consider it from mean position to either extreme position, okay. Should find the amplitude from the mean position. We had marked here, is it, children? From the mean position, okay, from the mean position to the extreme position, and again from the mean position to the other extreme position, okay. This is called the maximum displacement of the bob on either direction. That is called amplitude, okay, children. Can you all understood what is meant by amplitude? The maximum displacement of the bob on either direction, it is called amplitude. And the next term involved in simple pendulum is oscillation, okay. Already I have said you, is it, children? The bob will stay in the mean position, is it, children? It will be at rest in mean position, okay. From the rest, it starts oscillating to the extreme position and again to the other extreme position and back to the mean position. That is called one complete cycle or one oscillation. Can you all understood? It will start from the mean position and again to the extreme position and again back to the other extreme position and returns back to the mean position. That is called one oscillation or one complete cycle, okay, or else one complete cycle of the to and fro motion, okay, children, to and fro motion of the pendulum, okay. What is meant by oscillation? One complete cycle of to and fro motion of the pendulum. That is called oscillation of the pendulum. Can you all understand, children? Okay. Next term involved in the simple pendulum is frequency, okay. Yeah, if you are just using the timer means, okay, just watch the timer, okay, and pull the bob, okay, pull the bob, okay, it will start moving. So children, the first movement from the mean position to extreme position and again to the other extreme position and back to the mean position. So children, that is the one cycle. Is it, children? Okay, you just switched on the timer. Is it, children? Okay, see the timer, okay, and it is moving 1, 2, 3. Likewise, in 1 second, the number of time it is moving. Is it, children? We are calculating the number of times in 1 second. 1 second, is it? That is called the frequency, okay. The number of oscillation it completes in 1 second is called frequency, okay. The number of times the pendulum completes its cycle in 1 second, okay. The number of times the pendulum completes its cycle in 1 second is called frequency, okay, children. Can you all understood? Cycles of oscillation completes in 1 second, okay. Cycles of oscillation completed in 1 second is called frequency, okay, children. Can you all understood? Okay, it is denoted by F or N, okay. It is denoted by F or N, okay. The SI unit of frequency is hertz, okay. The SI unit of frequency is hertz, okay. We can say it as 1 by second or else a second inverse, okay. The SI unit of frequency is hertz. We can say as 1 by second or second inverse, okay, children. Can you all understood? Yeah, what is meant by frequency? The number of cycle by the total number of times, that is the frequency, okay, children. Can you all understood? Okay, then the next thing is time period. We have said, is it, children? What is meant by oscillation? if it moves from the mean position to extreme position and again to the other extreme position and returns back to the mean position, that is called one oscillation. So children, one full cycle. So children, okay, for that it takes some time, is it? For the time taken to complete one full cycle or else one oscillation is called time period. Okay children, can you all understood? Okay, what is meant by time period? Time taken by a swinging pendulum to complete one oscillation, that is called time period. Okay children, it is denoted by T. Okay, the time taken, we have said as a children, from the mean position to the extreme position and again to the other extreme position and return back to the mean position, is it? For that it takes some time, is it? That time is called the time period. Okay, it is denoted by T. Okay, and the next term involved with simple pendulum is mean position. Okay, we already know, is it children? We have learnt about the three positions. What are the three positions? Two extreme position and the mean position. Okay, where the bob or where the simple pendulum's bob takes rest, is it? It will be at rest in a position, is it? That position is called the mean position. Okay, when pendulum is at rest and not swinging, that position is called mean position. Can you all understand children? Okay, in a position pendulum takes rest, is it? That resting position is called mean position. Okay, we have learnt about length, is it? What is meant by length? The distance from the suspended string, okay, tip of the suspended string to the center of the bob is called the length of the pendulum. Okay, and then what is meant by amplitude? The maximum displacement of the bob. Okay, from mean position to extreme position, it will move, is it children? For that it takes some displacement, is it children? The maximum displacement of the bob in either direction is called amplitude. Okay children, and then the next one is oscillation. What is meant by oscillation? From the mean position to extreme position and again to the other extreme position, and if it returns back to the mean position, that is called one oscillation or else one full cycle. And then we have learnt about frequency. Is it? What is meant by frequency? For a second, okay, if you are just keeping the timer for 1 second, in 1 second the pendulum moves how many times? You are just calculating the number of times it is moving. Okay, we are just calculating the to and fro motion. Okay, in 1 second if it moves, okay, we are calculating the number of times in 1 second. Okay, it is moving for 1 second. If it moves 1, 2, 3, likewise it will move, is it children? Okay, the number of times it is moving in 1 second is called the frequency. Okay children, and it is denoted by hertz. Okay, sorry, it is denoted by F, and what SI unit of frequency is hertz. Okay, and then we have learnt about the time period. What is meant by the time period? We have said, is it children, for one oscillation, for moving one oscillation, for one to and fro motion, the time taken, is it children? That is called the time period. Okay, and then what is meant by mean position? Mean position means in a position the bob will be at rest, is it? That position is called mean position. Okay, and the next relationship between time period and frequency. Yeah, we have already learnt about frequency. Is it? What is meant by frequency? The number of times the pendulum completes its cycle in 1 second. Is it children? Yeah, frequency we can say as number of cycle by total number of times. Is it children? Number of cycle by total number of times. Is it? So what is the relationship between time period and frequency is, the time period is the inverse of frequency. Simply it is the inverse of frequency. Okay, it is the reciprocal of frequency. Okay children, we have said what is the frequency? Frequency equal to number of cycle by total number of times. Okay, just note it. Okay, in your book just note it. Frequency equal to number of cycle by total number of times. Okay children. Yeah, what is the time period? Simply the reciprocal of frequency. Okay, so 1 by frequency, that is the time period. Okay, children, we are saying that as 1 by f. Okay, in your book they had said if you can clap 10 times in 5 seconds. Okay, here also you are just placing the timer. Okay, in 5 seconds you are clapping 10 times. Okay, so the time it takes to clap once is 5 by 10. Okay, the time it takes to clap your hands is 5 by 10. Okay, so the number of claps in 1 second is 10 by 5. Okay, yeah, we have said, is it, children? Time period is the reciprocal of frequency, is it, children? So that is the thing that we are doing there. Okay, so time period equal to 1 by frequency. Okay, t equal to 1 by f. Okay, simply what is the relationship between time period and frequency? Okay, the reciprocal of frequency is the time period. Okay, just remember this. Okay, children, the reciprocal of frequency is the time period. So we can say as 1 by frequency equal to 1 by f. Okay, 1 by frequency equal to 1 by f. Yeah, what is the relationship between the frequency and the time period? The reciprocal of frequency is the time period. Okay, children, can you all understood? And then we have factors affecting the time period as the next topic. So children, I will teach you that topic in the next class. Okay, and then we will see about seconds pendulum. Okay, yeah, we have already said, as children, frequency means in a second we are counting the number of times it is oscillating. So children, that is called frequency. Okay, seconds pendulum means a pendulum with a period of oscillation equal to 2 seconds. Okay, in 2 seconds you are just considering the period of oscillation. Okay, in 2 seconds, okay, you are just considering the period of oscillation for 2 seconds. That is called seconds pendulum. Okay, children, can you all understood? Yeah, can we recall what we have learned in this class? First of all, we have learnt about simple pendulum. Is it, children? Yeah, see your book. What are the parts we have learnt in simple pendulum? First of all, there is a bob and it has a string and it has a rigid support. Is it, children? Okay, and it has a metal ball. Okay, we are calling that metal ball as bob. Okay, bob of the pendulum. Okay, it is tied to a string and then it has a rigid support. Is it? Okay, from the rigid support the string is moving freely. Okay, if you just pull the bob means what will happen? Okay, it will move in a to and fro motion. Okay, to and fro, that means backward and forward motion. Okay, yeah, well, it will start taking the oscillations. Okay, it will oscillate. Okay, backward and forward and backward it will move. Okay, that is called oscillation. Okay, children, while oscillating it goes 3 positions. What are those positions? 2 extreme position and 1 mean position. Okay, children, can you all understood? Okay, the motion of the bob. Okay, the motion of the bob is the motion of the simple pendulum. Okay, children, so it is the example of periodic motion or oscillatory motion. So children, and then we have learnt about length. Is it? What is meant by length? From the suspended body. Is it? The string is suspended. Is it? From the tip of the string to the center of the bob. If you are calculating the distance means that is called length. Okay, length of the pendulum. Okay, and then amplitude. What is meant by amplitude? Amplitude means the maximum displacement of the bob in either direction. From the mean position to the extreme position, we are calculating the maximum displacement. Okay, we are calculating amplitude from the mean position to the extreme position and again from the mean position to the other extreme position. That is called the amplitude. Okay, children, the maximum displacement of the bob in either direction. Okay, that is called amplitude. Okay, and then oscillation. What is meant by oscillation? if it starts from mean position to one extreme position and again to the other extreme position and return back to the mean position, that is called one oscillation or one complete cycle. Okay, and then frequency, the number of oscillation, okay, happened in 1 second. You are just keeping the stopwatch, okay, stopwatch in your hands, and you are just counting the number of oscillation, okay. Likewise 1, 2 and 3, okay, in a second. In 1 second you are just counting how many times, okay, that is called the frequency. Okay, children. And then time period, we have said, as a children, oscillation, okay, for the time taken to have one oscillation or else to complete one full cycle, that is the time period. Okay, it is denoted by T. Okay, and then mean position, we have already know what is mean by mean position. The simple pendulum undergoes 3 positions. What are the 3 positions? Extreme position, 2 extreme positions and 1 mean position. The mean position is the position where it takes rest. Okay, the resting position is called mean position. Okay, and we have learnt about the relationship between time period and frequency. What is the relationship? Time period is the reciprocal of frequency. Is it reciprocal of frequency? So time period equal to 1 by frequency. Okay, so T equal to 1 by F. Okay, and then at the last we have learnt about seconds pendulum. What does mean by seconds pendulum? In 2 seconds you are just calculating the period of oscillation. Okay, that is called seconds pendulum. Okay, children, can you all understood? Okay, that's all about this class. Okay, and this is your classwork. Okay, only one question. Okay, yeah, take your classwork notebook, children. Have you all taken? Put today's date. And then put lesson number 2. Lesson number 2. And then write the name of the lesson. Motion and force. Okay? Motion and force. Children, are you all using ink pens? Use only ink pens, okay? Yeah, put F. Put the alphabet F. Answer briefly. Put the alphabet F. Answer briefly. Have you all written? Okay, start writing the first question. What is simple pendulum? Okay, draw a diagram showing the length of a pendulum. Okay, children? Yeah, what is meant by simple pendulum? A simple pendulum consists of small metal bob connected to the end of the light inextensible string. Okay, and it is capable of swinging. Okay, we have learned this, children. We are going to write it only. Okay, okay, write fast and write neatly. Okay, children. Children, have you all completed? Can we read this? What is simple pendulum? Okay, draw a diagram showing the length of a pendulum. Okay, a simple pendulum consists of a small metal bob connected to the end of the light inextensible string. Okay, it is capable of swinging. Okay, a simple pendulum consists of a small metal bob, okay, connected to the end of a light inextensible string. Okay, it is capable of swinging. Have you all written, children? Okay, draw this pendulum picture. Put the heading as length of a pendulum and draw this. Okay, use scales to draw. Don't use your hands. This is not your rough note, is it? It's your classwork note. So use scales, okay, children? Mark the distance as L, okay? Yeah, have you all completed, children? Okay, then about today's homework, okay? This is your homework. Choose the correct answer, okay? Yeah, the first question, an object moves such that its distances from a fixed point, that is axis, remains the same. Yeah, what is the answer? Very easy, is it, children? Fixed axis means what? Okay, write the answer. Okay, oscillatory motion, rotatory motion, rectilinear motion. Okay, and then second one, motion of pendulum is an example of, what is the answer? Okay, periodic motion, oscillatory motion, both A and B. Have learned, is it, children? Write the correct answer. Okay, read it and write the correct answer. Okay, children. And then third question, some kind of change in position of an object is called dash. Some kind of change in position of an object is called dash. What is the change? If there is a change means what? Some kind of change in position of an object is called dash. Okay, write the answer. Okay, children. And then fourth one, in rectilinear motion, the objects move along dash. Rectilinear motion means it will move. Okay, write the answer. Okay, children. Yeah, write the questions in your notebook. Put homework and then write the questions. Okay, children. Have you all noted the questions, children? Yeah, the next question is the amount of time required for one cycle to occur is called dash. Okay, the amount of time required for one cycle to occur is called dash. Okay, amount of time. So, you can easily find the answer. The children, okay, write the answer. And then sixth one, the number of oscillations completes in 1 second is called dash. Okay, the number of oscillations completes in 1 second is called dash. Okay, write the answer. Okay, children. And then seventh one, the particle move to and fro, that is back and forth, okay, along an arc in dash. Okay, you should write the answer. Okay, the particle move to and fro along an arc in dash. Okay, if you have listened the class means you can easily answer it in, you can complete the homework in 1 minute. Is it, children? Very easy homework. Don't get your parents' help. Do it by yourself. Okay, if you don't know means also read the book and try to answer it. You are all intelligent. Is it, children? So read the book and answer it. Okay, yeah, write the questions fast. Children, have you all written? Okay, children, that's all about today's class. Be safe and enjoy at your home. Okay, thank you.